Alex, one of the things I've noticed in years of experience in the commercial world is that a lot of customer meetings start with potential supplier presenting their credentials, which sounds great, but what's the pitfall of doing that?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's quite a tradition I've noticed for businesses to do that, especially if it's an early meeting or they're meeting somebody within a business for the first time. And they're called creds, interestingly enough, credentials, for very good reasons, because it helps lend credibility to what you're doing. And yes, they have a place, without a doubt. But if you think about the precious time that you have when you are face to face with a customer, and that could be one-on-one, it could be in front of a group of people or a group of decision makers, don't waste the time talking about yourself. And I remember very, very keenly a presentation in front of a group of stakeholders at a customer that I presented at. And the piece of feedback, the very strong piece of feedback I get at the end, and it was very, very complimentary, was that they were really happy because we didn't talk about us, we talked about them. And for me, that's a great memory and something that we should really underline, that when you're with somebody, it's about them, it's not about you.
And I've had some similar, stories like that as well with clients that I've worked with. The people who have been stood out, the people who have talked about their clients, about them and not about themselves. So I'm just interested because I'm thinking if you're getting that sort of feedback, I guess that's a kind of credibility on its own. So what's your thought on that?
Well, if you think about what you're there to do, if you are going to sell your wares have to be relevant to the customer, right? They've got to be the right fit. It's about meeting needs. That's the fundamentals of good selling. How on earth can you match what you've got to what your customer needs unless you've engaged them around those needs? Now, your creds may have got you through the door. In other words, they may have researched who you are. They may like what you say about yourself, but your creds will not sell your product or service to your customer. So make it about them. That means that before you even get anything out of the bag, you need to ask questions. It's a common thing for a lot of our videos together, Gareth. But you need to get interested in the problems that they have that you can help them fix. And then you can tell your story.
So I suppose, ultimately, if you boil it all down, and this may be harsh, nobody really cares about you. What they care about is what you can do for them. So, and that gives you that credibility. If you can help solve issues, solve problems and ask questions to dig deeper around those, you've got more likelihood of actually solving them. So I guess that's credentials on its own.
Absolutely. And in a way, you've got to leave your ego at the door in that respect, because you may be working for a great brand, you may be a great brand, but actually leave that ego outside the room and focus on being a problem fixer. And maybe using what you've got to help solve those problems is what's going to get you success in the end.